news, as if we didn't have enough, as if week 8 didn't give us enough to worry about. We have week 9 saying, no, here's some more. Aaron Rodgers out week number 9, testing positive for COVID. And a lot of controversy around this situation because he has been asked before if he's been vaccinated. And he responded, I'm immunized. And a lot of people took that as, okay, yeah, he's, that word's too big for me. I'm not going to question what he's saying, when he said it in more of an affirmative type of response when asked if he was vaccinated. So there's like a big controversy about whether he told the truth and what he's been doing around the facility compared to other people that are unvaccinated. And there's a big old mess about it. So A-Rod out, but he is out a minimum of 10 days because he's unvaccinated and has caught or tested positive for COVID-19. So this isn't one where he has to go through 2 negative tests because he's been vaccinated. He is out a minimum of 10 days, which puts his not only week 9 game in jeopardy, but his week 10 game in jeopardy, which is awful for fantasy football owners everywhere. So a lot of controversy here. Mike Thomas out for the season after he suffered a setback yet again. Are we surprised? Does this make us, even though Mike Thomas is not related to Christian McCaffrey is not related to Mike Thomas, it makes you wonder, are we expecting anything out of McCaffrey? Is that a dumb move at this point? Because the pattern we saw with Mike Thomas from last year repeated over to this year. What does Mike Thomas mean to you in Dynasty? How mad are you at A-Rod right now? Because you might be out 2 games with A-Rod. What does that do for Devontae Adams? What does that do for Aaron Jones? Let's break it all down. The Fantasy Football Show.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Top 5 running back. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Smitty.
Take a lap.
What is going on, good people? Appreciate you being here. Under not so good circumstances, here we go again. Aaron Rodgers out a minimum of 10 days after testing positive for COVID-19, and news coming out that he is not in fact vaccinated when the assumption was that he was vaccinated based on some responses he had given when asked, "Are you vaccinated?" And I'm not. Don't quote me exactly word for word, but in summary, he said something. Yeah, I'm immunized. I'm Batman. It was like, "Are you vaccinated?" Yes, I'm immunized. I am Batman. And so that was taken by everybody. No one followed up. There's a video of it. No one followed up and said, well, wait a minute. What does that mean? Immunized. Everyone just took the, yeah, I'm immunized, as he's good to go. No follow-ups, nothing. So this man's been trotting around, and you can argue right and wrong. I don't want to get into the political stances of how you feel about everything and what's real and what's not. I'm not getting into that, okay? But there are policies in place. You work for an organization that has set up policies where you're supposed to do certain things if you are vaccinated, certain things if you're not, wear this, wear that. He's been traveling in the line that says vaccinated. and following the playbook of people that have been vaccinated. And he's just been immunized. I don't know. A-Rod, I don't know if A-Rod's going to get in trouble. I don't know if everyone's calling him a liar right now. Look, I don't know. A-Rod's still one of my favorite people, like, in the NFL. I love Aaron Rodgers. I love his candor. I love his, I hate to say this word now, but honesty. I don't know what to think now. But the bad part is being immunized puts you in a situation where you have to wait 10 days because you are not vaccinated. You are just immunized. And so that's different. People need to understand the difference. Therefore, A-Rod's potentially looking like he could be out. Not just this week 9, but maybe week 10. As week 10 is in jeopardy. So everybody needs to start preparing for that. This is tough. It's a tough spot to be in if you're a fantasy football owner and you own Aaron Rodgers, because now you don't know what you're looking at in the next 2 weeks, and then he's got a bye week, and that is a big blow, especially if you could have traded him away. You're looking at that now going, crap, and I made several offers to trade Aaron Rodgers away in a bunch of leagues or trade for him. So there's a lot of implications going on depending on, those deals. Maybe you just acquired him, maybe you just sent him away. And then we got so that's the Aaron Rodgers news that's dancing around out there. And then we got the Michael Thomas news. Michael Thomas is out for the season. This man is out for the season yet again. And we should have seen this one coming, to be honest. Okay? The dude has poor decision making, and he proved that this offseason when he didn't communicate with the team, essentially. The team was like, hey, how's the surgery going? It seems a lot like I'm vaccinated. Have you had surgery yet, Mike Thomas? Yes, I'm immunized. Did you get surgery this offseason on the ankle? Yes, I got immunized. That's probably everybody's reaction. When you didn't do what you were asked to do, you just tell people, yes, I was immunized. Hey, Smitty, did you get the week 9 buy low, sell high video prepared for this week? Yes, I'm immunized. That is the new reaction when you didn't take care of something you're supposed to take care of. You just say it, and it's such a big word to most people. People just think you took care of it. Okay, so Bob from accounting, Steve, Michael, while you're at work today and your boss comes up to you and says, hey, did you take care of those TPS reports? Are they on my desk? Yes, boss. I am immunized. I mean, what are we doing here? Michael Thomas out for the year. Very, very obvious at this point. My question is, are we expecting too much of Christian McCaffrey? Are we expecting Christian McCaffrey to come back? And I'm not talking about personal decision. Guys, you guys got to keep that part out of it. I'm not trying to speak to the right or wrong. Everyone's got such a strong opinion one way or the other. I'm not going for that angle right here. I'm talking about when you ask him if he was immunized or vaccinated, he says he's immunized. That puts fantasy worlds in a bind because we don't, it sucks. Now he's out 10 days. I support whatever anybody wants to do, personal decision, all that. Like, I don't misconstrue what I'm saying here. But it's a blow. We got to talk about it. He's out 10 days. He could potentially be out 2 weeks now. So this is getting crazy. I traded Kelsey, Hollywood Brown, and Boston Scott for Saquon and Hawkinson. Well, Saquon also testing positive. So Saquon, and he wasn't gonna play anyway this week, I don't think. Joe says the issue is Rodgers is unmasked at press conferences and letting people believe he's vaccinated. That's the thing. Is like, okay, so you guys should talk about personal decisions and whether you should be able to not get vaccinated or get vaccinated. Like, that's a whole debate we don't need to get into. And I support people having their own opinion on that. Okay, so nobody in here get all strong-armed on anybody, like one side or the other, and be like, you have to, you don't have to. Like, let everybody be human beings about it, okay? So I don't want to hear that in the chat. But there are certain things that you do when you're of one thinking. And that's what Joe's saying here. And that's what I think the NFL is going to come down on and say. Is like, hey, we have certain policies for individuals that follow this track and certain policies for this track. And this man has been following, he's been in the line that says vaccinated people walk down this path, unvaccinated walk down this path. He apparently applied for an alternative measure of treatment to be qualified for vaccinated, and the NFL said no. So I think A-Rod took it upon himself to approve it in his own mind and move forward. So I don't know, A-Rod, if that was the right move. So here we go. Here we are. Ridley out for the year. By choice. A-Rod out 1, maybe 2 games, but we'll call it 1 right now. Michael Thomas out for the season. You got Barkley out this week, and who knows how long. You've got, I mean, this is a mess. Now what's going to happen to Christian McCaffrey? Is Christian McCaffrey going to be out for the rest of the year in the next piece of news? So, there we go. And I knew the chat, this is why I don't get into this topic at all, because I know in the chat, everybody's so opinionated. No one can just share the other person's stance. Like, everybody should respect everybody's stance. Okay? But there are certain policies that the team has in place. And so, everybody needs to calm down. I can already see it right now in the chat. And I don't know what people are just so passionate about this topic. And I don't blame them. It's good. It's good to be passionate about the topic, but you also need to look at it from just a different perspective. You need to look at it not from a right and wrong or humanitarian or, what's your decision? How do you feel about it personally? We have to look at it from like, okay, there are policies in place. There are things that are required of you if you work for somebody, and you do need to alert your place of employment if you choose to live there or work there and live in that world. You need to update them the way that they want to be updated, and if you don't like it, you can not work for them. You know what I mean? So it's up to the player to decide that. But what's going to be interesting is how the NFL reacts to this, because he's been hitting those press conferences unmasked, and that's a requirement that the NFL has requested. And if you work for the NFL, you do what the NFL says in those regards. You just do. Johnny says, yo, someone dropped Miles Sanders. Should I snag him or grab Emmanuel Sanders or the Bateman off waivers? You lost Derrick Henry, so I'm semi-desperate right now, says Johnny. Johnny, I apologize, pal. If you're desperate at running back, I probably would take Miles Sanders. I mean, Emmanuel's good, but Miles Sanders might give you a little bit of chance to have some hope at the running back position. So, the policy is insane, and the NFL is absolutely inconsistent by filling stadiums. I do agree with some of that. Like, that there is some inconsistency all over. There is some inconsistency, but it doesn't mean it does. I don't know what it means. I don't even have a very hard stance on any. I'm very flexible, and the reason I stay flexible is because of what I do. I talk about this from 100 different angles. If I came out here and just had this hard line opinion on it, I don't know how the show would unfold that day. Like, I'm very okay with everybody's opinion being different. I have to be. That's what I do. What I do for a living is argue opinions, but I'm okay with everybody else having different opinions. That's how I roll. So I don't know what to think here. All I know is A-Rod's maybe in some trouble. You can agree or disagree whether he should be or not. I respect that stance too. I respect all of your opinions in here, so everybody relax. I knew this was going to be a hot topic. I knew that there would be people that just couldn't listen to this a certain way. They'd have to react. I get it. I get it. You guys are crazy, man. No one can play nice all the time. As Grandpa said, you can please some of the people some of the time. You can please all the people, or no, you can please all of the people some of the time, some of the people all of the time, but you can't please all of the people all of the time. And that is one of the truest statements you'll ever, or phrases you'll ever hear in your entire life. Odell, we don't know. James, everyone keeps asking about Odell. No one knows. Okay, Odell, maybe he gets released. Let me pull up the latest news on Odell Beckham Jr. And it is not willing to waive Odell. Let's see. The Browns are not willing to waive Odell Beckham Jr. as the team attempts to reach a final resolution with him. Yeah, it looks like he'll probably, I would guess, get released, but who knows? A lot of people thinking San Francisco. Maybe he ends up in San Francisco. Swift for McCaffrey. I don't know what to tell you on that right now, Joseph, because this is making me feel a little bit uneasy. I'm feeling a lot like the MT news. We should have known. We did, and no one drafted MT super high. But if you took him in like round 9, and you've been stashing him on IR, you've been wasting a spot on him. I feel like we should have known, like MT was gonna completely just disappoint everybody, and this was gonna happen again. His inability to communicate, his inability to follow instruction, his decision making to not have a surgery that was easily, by any medical person I've talked to, any medical professional said that what MT suffered last year, he needed immediate surgery. He decided not to get immediate surgery. I wonder a little bit about McCaffrey. He is being, I believe, activated from IR, so there's some positive momentum on the Christian McCaffrey front. Let me pull up Christian McCaffrey news and pop that on screen here. I have, let's see. Let me take a screenshot of this. He returned from injured reserve. I'll just read it. That opens McCaffrey's 21-day window to resume practice and gives him a chance to return against the Patriots after spending the past 5 weeks on the shelf. We'll see. I don't know that he'll play this week. There's a chance that CMC does return here this week, or at least, in the next contest for the Panthers. But would I trade Swift for him? If you have the ability to wait another game, yeah, I probably could. I probably could make that trade. If not, then I don't know. I'm willing to take the chance in one league on McCaffrey like that, where you trade for him, you put your entire season on the line, because he's got that kind of upside. But it's a tough spot to be in. Smitty, is fantasy football content and the subject Aaron Rodgers? Wait, hold on. What's Captain Spock saying? Since this is fantasy football content and the subject is Aaron Rodgers and COVID, I have 2 words that need to be mentioned here. Those 2 words are Mike Texter. Yeah. Prayers up for his family. Prayers up for anybody that's caught COVID-19 and anybody that's, struggled through it. So, appreciate that, Captain Spock, and anybody that's been lost by COVID, or anybody that has been a victim of it, or families. Prayers up for that. And I don't want to hear any negative conversation on that. Okay. I know everybody's got different opinions on this topic, but just leave that be. You don't need to get into any negatives in here. Smitty, do I seek high on Joe Mixon? I think you mean, do you sell high? I would sell him at the right price. Let's just hope Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, come on, bro. Aaron Rodgers will be fine. Need a win 3-5. What would you trade Saquon for? I don't know, man. You almost have to wait for him to be back before you sell him, or you're just gonna sell him a tad too cheaply. So if I'm you, I would wait. Do I think Brian Edwards' role gets increased? Absolutely. We have the news about Ruggs as well. Ruggs is likely going to, he could do 2 to 20 years, but his career is over. Released by the Las Vegas Raiders for a DUI, which resulted in a woman's death and a reported DUI. So, if under the influence, he's looking at a serious bit potentially, so he's not coming back. His career is over. No team's going to sign him, I don't think, in the future or anything, but you never know. But I don't think he's going to get a shot. I think he's done. Smitty, I need your help. I have Debo, Justin Jefferson, Deontay Johnson. Do I start all three or sit one for Joe Mixon? I mean, yeah, I sit Deontay for Joe Mixon, I think. Yeah, I would try and trade one of them. And you can't sit Debo, you can't sit Justin Jefferson. That's a pretty easy call, bro. You don't need desperate help there. That situation's pretty easy to determine, bro. Trade Deontay. Where's Odell going to end up if he does get released? I would say, I think San Fran will look at him, but will San Fran bring a strong enough offer? They seem to sit back and let everybody just pass by. That's the way Shanahan's been rolling. What are you going to offer? The lowest ball offer you can, and then let somebody else come in and take him. I don't know how healthy Odell's going to be, though. He's always banged up. D-Hop plus McKissick for Eckler. Yeah, I would take Eckler in that situation. Dak or Stafford. This week you're going to want to go Stafford, I think, until you find out until you feel a little more confident with Dak. But long term they could be very similar. Mike White, I like Mike White this week, man. If you are in a big bind, it's crazy. It's rolling the dice for sure. Jamar Chase, J-Rob, or Mixon, Judy. Give me Jamar Chase and J-Rob by a lot, and then I try and trade J-Rob though, because I do worry about him, but I want that Jamar Chase side. In need of depth, what should I try and get for Kamara? We talk about this a lot. 2 players of the tune of Aaron Jones and at least Mike Williams. Aaron Jones, Diggs. Aaron Jones, Hopkins. Even if you got to throw in another player. That's the kind of move you've got to make if you're going that route. But you can definitely get 2 players. You just got to get the right 2 players. Rodgers is out, so I'm starting Mike White. Hey, Sonny, might work out for you this week, pal. Let's hope. Tannehill or Taysom Hill? Tannehill. We don't even know what's going on with Taysom Hill right now. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you. What a mess, man. What a week number 9 said, hey, week 8 didn't do you in enough. I'm going to come in and take care of and finish you. Finish him, said week 9 to fantasy owners who thought they escaped week 8 without being finished, like in Mortal Kombat. And now we're going to get suplexed by week 9. 38 now, Terry. Hit the thumbs up on your way in the door. Appreciate it. We got like 130 in here. Terry says only 37 likes, so punch it. We're emergency live stream. We had to do an emergency live stream. We've got Michael Thomas out for the year. We've got Aaron Rodgers out for at least week number 9, potentially longer. Potentially looking at some hand slapping by the NFL for his decision to decide on his own how to navigate the pandemic and categorization of himself. whether you agree with him or not, it doesn't matter. He should be following the protocols that his employment has set out for him. And if he doesn't want to do it, which I understand and I respect anybody's decision, but he can't. If they say if you're not vaccinated, you have to wear a mask at press conferences, he's got to wear a mask at press conferences. There's no arguing that. And it doesn't mean I agree with it. It doesn't mean I disagree with it. Like, I can be objective. I feel like a lot of people can't be objective with this topic. I feel like people just say, but he can't do it. He should not be doing it, Smitty, because, or you got to do it. You got to, objective. I'm totally objective. If you work for a company, you don't have to work for the company, but if they tell you got to do something, you got to do it. And A-Rod put himself and fantasy owners and everybody in a bind because now he's been conducting himself on his own determination that he is vaccinated under his standards and not wearing a mask when he's supposed to wear a mask. And it's gonna put, I don't know what's gonna happen. We're gonna have more. I'll probably have to do another emergency live stream if the NFL reacts to this. It wouldn't shock me if they came down hard on this, and it wouldn't shock me if the poster boy of the NFL, MVP, reigning MVP, if they just let it slide. Like, let's just pretend this never happened. Let's try not to speak on it. Let's see if it'll go away. Wouldn't shock me if the NFL took either approach on that. Like, hey, no one's immune, no pun intended, to the ramifications of not following rules, or let's pick up the rug, sweep it under, and get A-Rod back on the field because this man sells tickets, this man gets eyeballs, and we don't need the backlash. Can you imagine, just in this chat alone, how many people are upset just when the topic comes up in general? Just in general. Like, you just bring it up, people get upset. Doesn't matter what side you're on. People just get mad talking about this topic. But can you imagine how many people are going to be upset if something disciplinary comes down on A-Rod? Just because they're just going to be upset about it. A-Rod, I don't know. We'll see. Is Allen Robinson worth dropping, James? It depends on your situation. I can't give you a blanket yes or no. I can say that he's a guy you're probably benching in a lot of ways. But I don't know. It depends on your situation. Let me put it this way. He got cut in one league and I didn't pick him up. He got cut in another league and I scooped him up right away. Because each league was different. Mark Cleveland has a question here. Tua or Wentz? Tua feels a tiny bit safer this week, Mark. A tiny bit. A-Rod is the people's champ. I love A-Rod. And this doesn't change my first of all, I like I said, I'm very impartial to this topic in general. And as someone that's completely exhausted from the pandemic myself, currently right now, and I could argue the severity of it, and it's definitely, I think, I feel like a lot of people just take the wrong stance on this in general, whether they're on one side or the other. They just take this hard-nosed, incapable of understanding the other person's angle stance, and that's where I think everybody's wrong half the time, because people just don't care what the other person thinks. Everybody needs to be sensitive to everybody else's opinions and life experiences. No one's shoes are the same. Put on someone else's shoes and walk around, and everything's different. So I have a very good ability to do that. And so for me, I don't judge anybody that sees this one way or the other. I only judge people that are inconsiderate for everybody else. That's the only time I ever get upset or judge someone's stance. We are talking about football, Nicholas. This is everything to do with fantasy football. It's very, very much related to fantasy football. And then you get those stances where people just get so upset when the word even comes up. It's like this. It's very relevant right now, bro. That's what the show is about. The breaking news regarding this situation has everything to do with fantasy football right now. A-Rod being out hurts Devontae Adams. It definitely does. A-Rod being out may or may not hurt Aaron Jones. Why is my lighting so bad? Let me get some more lighting in here. It's like everything just went down. I got you, Nicholas. A-Rod being out. Appreciate you, Smitty. Thank you, Blackbeard. Pollard or Javonte. That's tough. I'm going to probably say Javonte this week. But every week is when is he going to get more work? When is he going to get more work? Is Jordan Love worth picking up? In 2 QB leagues, yeah. In 1 QB leagues, probably not. I'd rather start Mike White, if that helps. Damian Harris for Brandon Cooks. Give me Damian Harris right now. I think he's a very, very solid running back to own and play. I do worry about, committees or something taking his value down, but for right now, he's a beast. Patterson for Lamb. My other running backs are JT, James Robinson, Gaskin, AP, 100 yards, you get 10 extra points. Patterson for Lamb. With James Robinson being hurt, though, that's a tough trade to make. I would do it. I like Lamb enough that I would definitely take this trade, but I wouldn't be opposed to keeping Patterson if someone decided to, because I can understand his flexibility, his value. Is he wide receiver and running back eligible in your format, Derek? If he is, that gives him that extra value. But, I like Lamb better in a vacuum. Lamb. I feel like Lamb is the better player. Darnold or Freiermuth. I like the Muth, man. I like Freiermuth. I like him right now. Arnold is okay, but give me Freiermuth. He's only running back. I would probably take Lamb, but it does put you in a bind if James Robinson is not good to go. I don't know if you can pick up Carlos Hyde. My super chat got ignored. It didn't get ignored. I just missed it. So give me 1 second, Mike. I will go find it. There we go, Mike. It's right there. Start Mooney, Pollard, or Ty Johnson. Appreciate the super chat, Mike. I never ignore him. I just didn't see it because the messages flooded in real quickly. Like sometimes there's a delay and then 10 of them plop in to my screen. Mooney, Pollard, or Ty Johnson. I'm going to go Ty. I'm going to go Ty Johnson, I think, in this situation, pal. I think he's got some good, almost J.D. McKissick value right now. And with Mike White operating the way Mike White's operating and the way the offense looks under the command of Mike White, Ty Johnson should continue to do what he did last week, which is catch a lot of dump off passes. And that's not all Mike White does. Mike White's just smart, and he did that because that's what he said the defense gave him. He's getting a lot of flack for being only a short yardage passing quarterback, but he did what a lot of good quarterbacks do, is recognize a defensive scheme and know what the defense is going to give you, and he just picked them apart all game long. We'll see how his cannon is later in this game on Thursday against the Colts. But give me Ty. Trade Lamar for Waller since you have Stafford. Absolutely. That's a no-brainer, Ryan. And Waller's a good buy low right now, too. I like that. Appreciate you, Mike. Wrangler says trade away Chris Godwin and AJ Green and Gaskin for Mike Williams and Calvin Ridley. Yeah, I like Mike Williams more than I like Godwin, surprisingly. And I think some might be shocked by that. And Ridley's not a big component of this trade, but maybe he comes back and changes his mind. I don't know. I'm not excited about it, but I would probably cut him in some scenarios and not cut him in others. Is that a legit trade? Says Kyle. This one right here by Wrangler. Trade away Chris Godwin and AJ Green for Mike Williams and Calvin Ridley. I mean, it looks like it's arguable. You could argue Godwin or Mike Williams, either side. Smitty, would you trade Cooks for Carter? If I needed a running back bad enough, I would take Carter. If I needed a wide receiver, I'd take Cooks, which means it's pretty darn even. Freiermuth or Conklin? Give me Fryer. Give me Fryer. Lat Murray, Mike Davis, or Gainwell. Give me Mike Davis, bro. He's getting more work than the rest of them. I hope Gainwell does reemerge, but for right now, we gotta assume he won't. Calvin Cook. Who the heck's Calvin Cook? Or Jonathan Taylor. I'm gonna take Dalvin Cook, bro. especially if you got Madison, if you're talking rest of season, but in 1 week, I'm always taking Cook. I think Cook's going to drop fire any given week. I like both of them. What's up, media? Hyde is available, but don't know who to drop him. So tell me who you guys are, and we'll try and come up with your best drop. But, I mean, it just protects you to have Hyde. Maybe you don't need him. Maybe your team's too good to pick him up. Start Dillon or Gainwell. Dillon's getting the work. Gainwell's not. Pretty simple, Zach. Until Gainwell gets work, you got to either cut him, bench him. You can't start him. You can't start him at all right now. Plus, Dillon's getting a lot of work. And, plus, with A-Rod being out, maybe they run the ball a ton. That'd be what I would do. And that means you'd probably get him and Aaron Jones heavily involved. Devontae Parker or Hunter Renfrow. Give me Devontae Parker, but Hunter Renfrow will see an uptick in him, and Bryan Edwards will see an uptick in production, given that Ruggs is out for the not only the year but probably done. Hit that like button. Who else breaks news like Smitty? Thank you, pal. Appreciate you, Blackbeard. So, do I drop or keep Patterson? Your honest opinion. I mean, Patterson's playing so good, man, and I feel like I would take Lamb. I don't like you getting rid of Cordero Patterson, Cordaly, but I like Lamb more. I draft Lamb higher. I mean, so the situation isn't going to deter me too much. Did Master Reaper Super Chat get answered? Thank you for checking in on him. Let's see. Got Mike's, Master Reaper. Oh, I don't think I did. Sorry, Master. Are you still here, pal? Kyler Murray or Mike White or Jalen Hurts. Look, this is easy. I mean, if Kyler's playing, you're playing Kyler Murray. It's a no-brainer. But if he sits out, Mike White versus Jalen Hurts is a dilemma. I'd probably go Mike White. I don't know. I'm crazy, though. I'm crazy. Safe. Not that Jalen Hurts is safe, but safer is Hurts. Safer is Jalen Hurts. It just is. James Devlin needs extreme help. Is Odell Beckham Jr. now droppable? He's not going to be with a team for the rest of the season. Who told you that? Who told you he's not going to be picked up right away? But he's not necessarily worth owning either, though. Would I drop Henry? I would drop Henry if you could pick up. Now, what's up with my lighting today? I gotta restart my computer in a little bit. Let's see here. I would say it depends on if you could pick up a guy that's going to impact your roster and help you win, you could drop him. But if you could put him on IR, depending on your IR rules, I consider holding him too, because there's a shot he could return for like week 17, but it's a long shot. It's a long shot. It's not a great shot. What's this guy saying? Smitty, can you stop and listen to Nick? No more pandemic talk. Bro, we're in the middle of a news about an issue relating to it. So no, I'm not going to stop talking about it if it's related to what's going on. This is the show, bro. I break news. It's crazy that people actually get so mad that you're even mentioning anything relating to it, as if I'm not going to talk about what I want to talk about. Like, I appreciate you, bro, and I'm glad you're here, but no, I'm not going to talk about exactly what you want me to talk about all the time. And no, I'm not going to stop talking about something because somebody doesn't want me to talk about it. If it's what I want to talk about on my show, I'm going to talk about it, because this is relevant information And I'm not speaking to it in any way, shape, or form that feels inappropriate, in my opinion. Like as if I'm trying to give advice on it or take a hardline stance on it. Like, I'm not. James wants more extreme help. Can you stop? Are you kidding me? Here we go again. No more pandemic talk, Smitty. You're a fantasy football channel, not a pandemic channel. Major League Sports clearly has an agenda. Bro, what I just said applies. I'll talk about whatever I want to talk about. This is my show. And if I want to talk about how this situation is impacting fantasy football culture or what's going on, I can talk about it. And I'm going to, bro. That's just the way it is. Rodgers, can you do Rodgers? What's Rodgers? Can you do what Rodgers wants to do, and the NFL won't keep him out for long anymore? I don't know what this means. I think you're saying they can't keep him out more than the 10 days, which is true. It affects us fantasy football. Exactly. Look, I don't even care. Like, it doesn't even bother me when people do that. It's crazy. It's crazy. Rodgers missing this week has major impact. Could lose home field advantage. There's a lot of implications to this. This is crazy. Smash the like button. Smitty killing it today. Thanks, Rush. I know some of you appreciate it. Smitty, can you please stop talking about relevant news? Please stop. Please. Nicholas says, bro, I said what I said 10 minutes ago. You called me out then. Then you called me out again. Kind of petty. Nicholas, I wasn't talking to you. What is everybody on today? Nicholas, what have I said to you in the last 10 or 15 minutes? I haven't spoken to you once. The whole world doesn't revolve around you, Nicholas. There are other people in the chat that are coming at me. Nicholas, did I say you? What is it about this topic? What is it about this topic that makes people so upset? They get so upset on both sides. Nobody can just linger in the middle and just waver. They just can't do it. They just can't do it. People get so, like, they can't even watch their favorite fantasy show and not get upset about it. Everybody's got to get upset. Nicholas, I'm not talking to you. I appreciate you, Nicholas. There's nothing wrong with you, Nicholas. I haven't called you out at all. Oh. Wrangler. Have you ever considered talking about soccer? I might have to. Nicholas says, I was making my croissants and I swore you brought up my comment again. No, because somebody commented just like you did. Someone said, can you stop? Smitty, can you stop? Blackbeard says, I'm immunized. I'm immunized from this topic, apparently. What's going on with my focus, my color? Even my computer's freaking out over this topic. Oh, man. I appreciate you, Nicholas. Make your croissants. Make those bad boys. Show us. Give us email me a photo of your croissants right now, and I'll put it on the screen, Nicholas. Let's see what these croissants look like. Let's see if it's worth missing part of the show, coming in and accusing me of yelling at you again. Let's see if these croissants are worth it. Email me them right now, or DM me a photo on Instagram. Go to Instagram, send me those croissants. They better be worth it, pal. Traded away Myles Gaskin for Michael Thomas. Oh, Michael Thomas, done for the year. Done for the year. Yeah, my computer's freaking out. It's got something. my computer said it was immunized, but it's not. It's clearly affected by this conversation. Can you answer my question, Smitty? What is your question, pal? It'd be easier if you just asked it instead of asking me if I could go find it. I don't see it anywhere near, so send it again. Check your email, Smitty. Seclan says, check my email. I don't see an email, Seclan. I don't see an email, Seclan. Oh, here it is. Snack time. Seclan is having snack time. This is Seclan's snack right now. That's what Seclan's eating. I asked 3 times. Well, I mean, I see this, bro, is what my point is. Like, I you know how many questions I get? Like, I can't answer every single question fast enough because there's not enough time. Mr. Kemo is ready to talk again. Did I do a solid? Traded Damian Harris and Mark Ingram for Stafford. Stafford has a beautiful fantasy schedule. Already have Najee, Zeke, Eli Mitchell, Michael Carter. Depends on who you had at quarterback, but it's not a bad move. I like Damian Harris a lot, but you could definitely argue they're equal. So whatever side you needed more from, I think isn't a bad idea to swap out. DM sent. Okay, Nicholas, this better be good, bro. This better be good. These croissants better be amazing. I don't see him, bro. Is Instagram having problems again today? I'll have to close and go back in. IG's having problems again today. Came in here for news, but now we're talking about croissants. So now we can't even talk about croissants? Now you're telling me I can't talk about this, I can't talk about that, I can't talk about burnt croissants from Nicholas. I can't talk about, I'm completely, like, what am I, being censored? Odell Beckham Jr. stepping away from the Browns. I don't know. Smitty, how did Gainwell go from stealing red zone touches from Sanders to third on the depth chart? I don't know. Sirianni. Gainwell had so much upside. I don't know what happened to him. I'm starting Jordan Love over Tannehill this week. Wish me luck. I don't know if I'd do that, but maybe Jordan Love finally shows something. All right, let's try and find this guy's question. I'm intrigued. Hey, Smitty. Is this it? No. I asked 3 times. Okay. I asked 3 times. I don't see your question yet. Again, I can't go searching for it. I don't know where it is, pal. Hey, Smitty, start Boston Scott or Javonte this week. Boston Scott's probably a tad bit safer. But, Javonte's got that upside, man. It's tough to say. I'm looking for your question. All I see are my question always gets skipped. Shaking my head. Can you answer my question? I asked 3 times. Like, I'm looking for it, man, but all I see are you saying that I missed it. This is it. Henry was my keeper. I'll hold till next season. Bro, I can't find it. I mean, all you got to do is ask it again. I mean, this is a while ago. That I'm scrolling way back, bro. And it's possible you pasted it so many times that it gets blocked, and that's not on me. I'm not doing that on purpose, bro. That's just an automatic thing that YouTube does. I don't see it, bro. I'd look for it. I don't know if you pasted it 100 times and it got caught up in that, but that's something I can't control. So ask the question again. I think I'm done for the day. I just want to get on here and do an emergency live stream. I knew this is going to be one of those lives where it's going to be a little bit hot in here. What's up, Daniel? You're just joining us in time. James Devlin needs extreme help again. Mike Williams plus Clyde plus Gesicki for Waller and AJ who? AJ Brown? Can we talk about Jeff Wilson Jr.? He should be grabbed and stashed, but it's Eli Mitchell right now. Ty Johnson, Lat Murray, Gainwell. Ty Johnson right now. That could change, but I like him. Where do you buy that hat? I forget. Mike Davis, Judy, or Renfro, Damian Harris. Mike Davis, give me Damian Harris side. I think Damian Harris is pretty solid, bro. Pretty solid for right now. Did I see your super chat? I did. I believe I answered it, broski. Didn't I? Oh, maybe this is a new one. Ty Johnson or Miles Sanders rest of season? Wow. Totally agree with you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you, Johnny. Johnny, I'm going to say Ty Johnson right now. But, Miles Sanders later could end up creeping back up and being worth it. But I don't know. It's tough. Sorry I missed it, super chat. Ryan, I got yours. Renfro, Harris. I like that side better. Master Reaper says, who would you take, Amari Cooper or Keenan Allen? I'm going to take Keenan Allen going forward, to be honest. But it's close. It's arguable. Hey, would you start your boy Mike White over Kyler this week? No. If Kyler's playing, you don't ever sit Kyler Murray. Should I trade Hopkins and Monty for Cook? Hopkins and Monty, absolutely. Dalvin Cook, you draft way ahead of Hopkins, and I love Hopkins. Is Ridley worth dropping? It depends on who you can pick up. Depends. I'm holding him in one league, and I'm definitely, trading him in other leagues, or dropping him if I need to pick up a guy like, Boston Scott or something. I can't hold him in every league. Let me see if I can find this croissant. I don't know if Instagram's acting up today because I'm trying to refresh. Yeah, it's acting up. I can't see your croissant, I don't think. Devontae Parker or Elijah Mitchell for flex this week. I mean, Elijah Mitchell, bro, he's dropping 100-yard, 1 TD games. Like, you can't sit Elijah Mitchell. Optimistic Ridley only takes 3 or 4 weeks off. Patrick, that's very optimistic of you. It's cool, bro. Bro, I'm looking for your question. Post it. I'm trying to answer you. I'm trying to answer you, pal. I'm looking for it. Everybody is so worked up today. I swear. This is why I avoid this topic in general. I do. I avoid it. I avoid it because I don't want the whole live stream to go negative. People get so upset. Henry was a keeper I'll hold next year. I'm looking for your question, man. It must have got held in moderation or something. So it's not my fault, man, that I don't see it. But if you would ask it again, maybe you asked it a couple times and it's up here somewhere. I mean, I'm looking way at the beginning of the live stream, bro. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I've scrolled up for like... I don't see it. I mean, maybe you pasted it. Maybe you put it in at the very beginning of the chat. I'm looking. No, bro. I don't have it on my screen at all. So ask me again. I'm waiting to answer it. I'm here for you. Trade Kamara and Edmonds for Cook and Amari. Yeah, I take Amari Cooper. I don't know. That's pretty even. Kamara and Edmonds. I mean, Kamara and Edmonds is pretty even with Amari and Cook. I probably take Amari and Cook. But it's pretty close. Rush is having a snack. He just sent me a brewski on a table. Attaboy, Rush. All right, last couple questions, and then I'm out of here. You think Pittman Jr. will be wide receiver 1 for the rest of the year? I don't know about wide receiver 1, bro, but like potential wide receiver 2, yeah. Super chat, Julio for Judy. Give me Judy. I mean, Julio's not playing right now, or he's always banged up. Yo, Smitty, is it okay to trade Madison for Tony? Sure, you could do either one. I'd probably rather have Madison the way Tony keeps getting banged up, but if you need a wide receiver, it makes sense. I had to cut Slant Boy off my roster. Mike Thomas. Nicholas says, Smitty, if Devontae Adams gets suited up, what's his usage looking like with Jordan Love? I mean, make him a low-end wide receiver 1 or a super high-end wide receiver 2, but no one should be sitting Devontae Adams. It just makes him a very much less upside. Chris says his question was, how are you feeling about Mark Ingram in the flex? Lost Henry, still have... Thank you for going and getting his question. Which I could not find this one at all. Lost Henry, still have Eckler and Jonathan Taylor. You lost Henry. How do I feel about Ingram in the flex? Picked up Montgomery and Hunt for later. That's a good move. I'm still tired. I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully Hunt comes back for you. I don't know. I'm not loving Mark Ingram in the flex. I'd probably rather have like a Boston Scott, a Ty Johnson, to be honest, over Mark Ingram, if that helps. If Ty Johnson's out there. You have a great day too. Flex Mike Williams, Judy, or Jacobs. Give me Mike Williams. Smitty, would you trade Eli Mitchell for Mike Williams? If I need a running back, it's very even. Either side. You need a running back or a wide receiver. That makes a lot of sense on both sides. So I'm okay with either side of that, depending on what your team need is. Very, very even swap. Eli Mitchell is dealing with a rib, but will be limited all week in practice, says Media. That's good information. Thank you, Media. Love the show, but repeating background music is annoying. Sorry, Ricky. Or Rick. Sorry, Rick. flex Mike Williams or Judy or Jacobs. I think I got that one already. Mike Williams, very easy call for me. Drop Ridley for Parker. If you need a wide receiver badly, yeah. I still caution people, Ridley could change his mind. Smitty, trade Godwin for Fournette. If you need a running back, it's not a horrible move. If you need a wide receiver, Godwin's, as good as Fournette. So it's very even. I Smitty approve either side of that. Best nickname in football, Slant Boy. Cut. What do we... I don't know if he can even run a slant anymore. League vetoed the trade. I had to do Mitchell and Corey Davis for Williams. How'd they veto that? Get better. You're heading out. Thanks, Mike. All right, I'm out of here too. Fournette and Jacobs were CeeDee Lamb. I mean, I'd rather have CeeDee Lamb, but it is, you're paying a lot for that. I'll admit. All right, guys. Appreciate all you. I'm out of here. Breaking news. A-Rod testing positive, and apparently because he's not immunized, he will be forced out 10 days according to the league policies. And so that puts his week 9 and it puts his week 9 out of reach. He's out for week 9. Puts his week 10 in question, and then there's potential, question marks around him saying he was immunized versus vaccinated, and how the league's gonna come down on him for that. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe they can't afford to have A-Rod out, to be honest. So it wouldn't surprise me if they just move forward as quietly as they can. Michael Thomas out for the year. Darn Michael Thomas. 82 likes. Thank you, Terry. And then, of course, Ruggs. Done, released, cut. Could be looking at 2 to 20 years for that fatal car crash he was in where he was reportedly under the influence. So Ruggs is done. Odell Beckham Jr. potentially going to get released. Where does he end up? San Fran? Who knows? And Christian McCaffrey being activated from IR, but we don't know if he will play in week number 9. I'm kind of feeling like no. And then we had other news that Saquon Barkley tested positive as well and was very questionable anyway for week 9, so he's probably out week 9. And then they got a bye week, so Barkley's going to potentially be out 2 more weeks. But stay tuned for that in case Barkley does test negative twice in a row. Then if he is healthy enough, he could potentially play week 9. But we got to find out on that front. We'll know more on the show tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern. Join me. Appreciate all of you. Have a good night. Good day. If there's any more news that breaks, I might do an emergency show. That music is a little loud. I'm sorry about that. I had that cranked up pretty high. Let me see if I can lower that. I had it up pretty high. That might have been why I was a little more annoying to that individual earlier, so I apologize for that. I didn't realize that music was so loud today. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Peace out.